Jen here. Yes, I did change my hair. This is a hair that my daughter picked out for me. I will likely change it again in the very near future, but this is what it is for now. Anyways, I'm back in Roblox's The Hunt hub, and I missed the unveiling of the egg. Look at that egg. That is so cool. I would love to get this egg, but as you can see, we have 7 days and 1 hour left, and I'm only at 35 of the necessary 95 games to get the egg. I'm a little sad. I probably won't get it. I did get 2 of the 5 items, so that's pretty cool. I'd love to be able to get these if I can. I don't care so much about this item. I would love to get this item too, but I don't think I'm gonna make it there. I'm not even sure I can make it to this one. Maybe I can. It says I only have to get to 40, so maybe I can get another 5 games in the next 7 days. Who knows? Some of the games have been frustrating, some of them have been fun, some of them have been hard. I did not take footage of all of the games that I played, but at this moment, I do have some footage of some of the games that I played, and I kind of want to play that footage for you while I talk about my thoughts and feelings about the hunt so far. So let's get into that. So the first game I believe that I'm playing on the screen here is Metro Life, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. This one was so incredibly boring and tedious, and there have been a few games already that I have played that have been like this. The hot air balloon moved so slowly, and it was such a simple task and so mindless that it was incredibly boring. I think the point of it was just so that you get an overview of their map and a little feel for their game, and it wasn't meant to be difficult or anything. It was just meant to, yeah, give you a feel for their game. And there have been a lot of games like this. There were a few others, like the Sonic one comes to mind. I don't have footage of that one, but I did do that one. That one comes to mind in that it wasn't as boring because you're going at such a high speed that you have to really watch for the things that you're supposed to collect, and you have to slow down and stop. So it wasn't terribly boring, but there were moments when it got a little boring because it was just the same repetitive thing, and it took me a little while. So, it took like 10 minutes, I think, 15 minutes, I think, something like that. I don't remember. But yeah, it was one of those boring, repetitive things. Then there was this one, and there were several games like this one that required a level of speed and agility that I just didn't have. You're gonna see me fail a couple of times, and then I call in reinforcements in the way of my daughter, and I have her do it for me once just so that I could collect the badge. I clearly played it a couple of times on my own, so it wasn't like I didn't try. And I am a grown up, and I'm an older grown up at that. So it was gonna be harder for me. And then on top of it, I have a disability that heavily affects my hands. And so that made it harder. See, 2 F's in a row. And I'm like, dude, I can't do this game. And there have been a few. Doors comes to mind. We played Doors, my daughter and I, together. I wish I would have recorded that one. I died fairly early on. My daughter made it to the end and got the badge for both of us. Oh, I played it and failed 3 times. I think the 4th time was, yep, this has to be, because there's no missed one. So this one has to be the one where my daughter did it. That's kind of funny that you can tell right off the bat which ones were me and which ones were her. But yeah, Doors comes to mind. I died right away. and she got the badge for us because we played in the same private server together. We were playing as a little group, so she got that. There was also this one. Now, these ones aren't boring. The games that were like this weren't boring. They were definitely meant for a very young audience, and you can tell the whole entire time I'm doing this, that hovering airplane really bothered me because I looked up at it several hundred times. Like, I'm not joking. Every couple of seconds, I was looking up at that airplane and, like, why is it just staying stationary in the sky like that? That's creepy. Um, but these ones were more frustrating in that some of them, like this one was very clear. It led you where to go, it told you all the directions and everything. But like Livetopia had no directions on anything. You just had to figure it out on your own. It told you, you know, get started with the hunt, and then that was it. There was nothing after that. Then there were games like this. It should have been really quick, but I was in a server with some kind of obnoxious kids that were doing some inappropriate and mean things, and I had to report a couple of people for saying some mean things. One messaged me on this phone thing and told me to die. I definitely reported him. But yeah, I think this is Life Together or something. Not a game I would recommend for younger kids. But definitely some inappropriate stuff going on in that game. But the egg hunt itself wasn't bad. Now, these kind of games I actually kind of like. I was sweating by the time I was done, I was frustrated, but it actually felt like I was doing something, you know, rather than just checking out the game. I was actually playing the game, and that, as frustrating as it was, it made it kind of fun, honestly. And so I actually kind of enjoyed this one. I would play more games like this if they had more. I tried the football one, but you have to actually do stuff. You can't just stand in the game for a while and get the badge. You actually have to do tackles and stuff, and there are no directions on how to do anything. So there are some like strategy type games that just were not my thing. I'm not into football. I'm not into guns and shooting and hunting and military stuff. And the games didn't really have clear directions. That was one thing that I found a lot in a lot of these games. You had the simple ones that were borderline boring because they were so simple. You had the simple ones that were frustrating because they had no directions at all. There was no labeling the hunt stuff whatsoever. You had the frustrating ones because I'm an adult and it's just the speed and agility needed for the game just did not work for me. You have a variety. You have a variety of games, and you have a variety of games for a variety of abilities and attention spans. That's my takeaway from this. I don't have any complaints as far as games that should or shouldn't be in there. I do have one major complaint for all of the games and Roblox for the future, and that is every single game should have labeled their hunt stuff very clearly. You could still keep it a mystery and not spell out every step that you had to take. Like the Red Cliff City, I think it was called. It literally led you around the map with arrows and stuff. Now, I'm not saying you have to have that, but like slap battles had absolutely no directions at all. I ended up having to look it up to figure out how to even get started with the hunt. and it was something that was way out there that had nothing to do with slap battles whatsoever. So these games need to mark more clearly their hunt related stuff if they're going to participate in future events like this versus their regular game stuff, because some of them were so hidden and there was no mention whatsoever. So that would be my one main complaint about that kind of stuff. Other than that, I have been enjoying this. I think most of the kids are enjoying this as well. I think it's been a fun event so far. I think Roblox has done a great job. I think the creators of the games have also done a great job on their games as well. I just think that games like Slap Battle, where their thing had nothing to do with the game itself, needed to be more clearly marked. That's really the only complaint I have. Otherwise, I can suffer through a little football or SpongeBob or whatever every now and then to compete in this kind of stuff, and it's fun. So that's what I'm thinking. I might have a couple more videos yet of a couple more games. I'd like to at least get to 40. That's 5 more games. I'm gonna try to get to 40. I think 5 more games in 7 days is probably doable. So I'm gonna try that at least. I'd like the wings, if nothing else. But yeah, let me know down in the comments how much you're enjoying the hunt, how many badges you've been able to rack up so far, what games were your favorite, what were very frustrating for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!